Hello, writers. Today, we're going to be analyzing character responses to situations. Specifically, we're going to be thinking about how a character deals with a problem to build evidence for our thesis. So, specifically, our strategy is as follows. Writers of literary essays think deeply about how characters respond to specific situations in the story. They tie the character's actions to their thesis statement or claim in their literary essay. So we're going to be reading our story and we're going to be thinking about specifically what our characters do. So here's our anchor chart. Let's look at our anchor chart first before we read our mentor text from Fly Away Home by Eve Bunting. So analyzing character responses to situations. 4 steps. First, read your text again, looking for how a character responds to a specific situation in the story. Then ask yourself, how does this part contribute to what this story is really about? Next, ask yourself, does this part of the story support my thesis? And if it does, add it to your literary essay as evidence that supports your thesis or claim. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's read part of our mentor text, Fly Away Home by Eve Bunting. Okay, again, this story is about a boy named Andrew and his father who are homeless and they live in an airport. Okay, Andrew's mother's died and they are living in an airport trying to not get caught. So we pick up in the middle of the story. Andrew is talking about his father. But I know he's trying all the time to find us a place. He takes newspapers from the trash baskets and makes pencil circles around letters and numbers. Then he goes to the phones. When he comes back, he looks sad and angry. I know he's been calling about an apartment. I know the rents are too high for us. I'm saving money too, I tell him, and lift one foot and point to my shoe. Dad smiles. Atta boy! If we get a place, you and your dad can come live with us, Denny says. And if we get a place, you and your mom and your grandma can come live with us, I say. Yeah, we shake on it. That's going to be so great. Okay, so there's our text, and it's really about what's happening with Andrew's dad looking for an apartment and then talking about saving money. So let's now analyze the character responses in this scene. Okay, so I'm specifically working on my paragraph that starts with this topic sentence. Another way the author teaches to not give up and to keep trying is through Andrew's dad. So remember my thesis statement is how Fly Away Home teaches us not to give up even when things are really bad. So the paragraph that I have now is another way the author teaches to not give up and to keep trying is through Andrew's dad. So I read this part and I think, how does this show that Andrew's dad is not giving up? And there's a lot of it. His dad keeps trying to find an apartment, even though he calls and he calls and he calls and the rents are too high. They can't afford them. And then Andrew says he's saving money too, and dad encourages that. So even in these really, really hard times, both Andrew's dad and Andrew are not giving up. So I can take that information that I get from the way Andrew and Andrew's father are reacting to this situation about being homeless and looking for an apartment, and I can make a whole paragraph about it. So I started out with another way the author teaches to not give up and to keep trying is through Andrew's dad. And then here's the new part. Andrew's dad takes newspapers from the trash and tries to find them an apartment so that they can have a home and so that Andrew can go to school. He keeps looking and making phone calls, hoping that he can find one that they can afford. Additionally, he encourages Andrew to keep saving the money that he makes from collecting rented luggage carts. Because he keeps trying, this shows that he has hope that things will work out. So, what I did here is I read the text and I thought deeply about the character's response to this situation about being homeless. What is his dad doing to show that he has hope? So now, writers, you're going to try. You're going to try analyzing character responses to situations in your story. So, in 4 steps. First, read your text again, looking for how a character responds to a specific situation in the story. Then, ask yourself the question, how does this part contribute to what this story is really about? Next, ask yourself, does this part of the story support my thesis? If it does, add it to your literary essay as evidence that supports your thesis or claim. Go ahead, writers. Go read closely to analyze character responses.